Hound Posse presents. Tonight we have a little bit of a different setup in the studio to accommodate all of my guests, and even Jake, who is having a blast here in the studio, and it's all good. Tonight with me, Hounds Healing Heroes, we have Shelly, Cote.
Hello.
Tammy Anderson.
Hi.
And Hounds Healing Heroes is their baby. We also have veterans Rob Neubauer and Tara Lindberg. Thank you first and foremost for your service. We appreciate you. And we are going to move on to what exactly Hounds Healing Heroes is. Who wants to take it?
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Hounds Healing Heroes is a program designed for veterans who have PTSD. And
what is PTSD for those who don't know?
Post-traumatic stress syndrome disorder.
Okay.
And as Tara says, it is commonly most people think that it is a mental illness, but where in fact it is a mental injury.
Right.
Our dogs are canine emotional assist animals, and we work off the basic instinct with the dog's natural innate desire to take care of its pack leader. We provide the veterans with the dog, and we provide classes, and the veteran learns through themselves, through their interactions with the dog, about themselves. And we promote a very big bonding process that takes place. During the during the program, there's basic obedience that needs to be taken, and we're also different in we follow up with the veterans, so it's a closely followed, monitored group. At this point in time today, we lose 23 veterans a day in the United States to post-traumatic stress syndrome symptoms or PTSD itself.
And that's a crying shame. That really is.
It's
unacceptable.
It's unacceptable to us, and we have both been in rescue for many years. We know how dogs can help you emotionally and provide companionship when you feel you're all alone in the world.
Oh yeah.
And they do it with unconditional love and no judgments. So that's...
And that's a key to healing, is not being judged.
Yes, and also having a best friend who's got your back no matter what, that you can tell you all your secrets to and you'll never be betrayed.
Yeah, and dogs give that to us unconditionally for sure.
Mm-hmm. We've had 17 adoptions as of today. 2 went home.
Okay, yeah, that's up from the number you gave me.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
2 just went home.
Yay.
Tara and Rob have been with their dogs 3 weeks now. And I'm going to let them tell you so you can hear from them kind of what's been going on during the adoption process.
Okay, who wants to go first?
You want to go?
Sure. My dog's name is Karma.
Great name.
I had actually met these lovely, lovely ladies at an event that another veteran had invited me to go to. And started talking to her, and it just was, there's a lot of conversation initially, and what are you looking for, what speaks to you? She sends pictures, and you know, kind of, there is, I actually at one point said to her, this is starting to feel like I'm on a dating site. It's
but a match, a perfect match is very important.
Yeah, there is sort of that instinct about it. Same as the dogs have, I think we tend to have about them. And I had, you know, and she asked a lot of questions. What would be a good fit? What we feel we're looking for? And you know, I said I definitely wanted smart. I wanted a dog that was smart, and things just happen the way they happen.
And I don't want a puppy.
I said I want a smart dog, and I have young children at home, and I said I don't want a puppy. And I meet her, and a few weeks later, I had a very smart puppy. So
I have the feeling you got a puppy.
A very smart puppy. But it's been great. I mean, there's of course the puppyhood you got to go through.
Yep.
That's you.
I'm finding that although my first inclination was I don't want to deal with puppyhood. It's just when it's right, it's right.
It is,
You know,
absolutely.
even if you're going through some of that stuff.
Can you tell the red truck story,
And
please?
the I have been diagnosed with PTSD for less than a year.
Okay.
I
Good under.
I was in the military
under.
from 93 to 98 when I experienced a traumatic event. And the brain's a funny thing when it's injured. I literally had no recollection. My mind made it just go away in a protective measure.
Sure.
And it wasn't until just late spring, early summer, it all started coming back to me. So it's almost like it just happened to me. And there's many, many symptoms with PTSD, and not one person experiences it the same way. Amongst many symptoms, the one that is the most troubling and I guess the strongest in my case is the hypervigilance. And you see everything, and you hear everything, and you notice everything, and it's sort of this, you know, your body's constantly in preparation for that fight or flight. You need to be constantly, unbelievably well aware of your surroundings. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it must be very hard to shut down and relax at all.
It is so exhausting. Yeah, relax is not in the vocabulary.
vocabulary.
No, it doesn't happen. And I know she's only a puppy, but very smart, like I said. And she's just very aware. And dogs do that naturally. We're not asking them to do anything they don't just do.
No, you're just asking them to be themselves.
I'm asking her to be herself and to do what I'm not meant to do naturally. And I recently had moved into a new place. Really, it was the new place and then her very, very quickly. But even in the short 6 weeks or so, when it was just me, I was very aware of so much, to the point where in the dead of winter, windows closed, I'm sat very far back from the road. I could hear, I knew every car that drove by. And there were 2 red trucks that I'm not even sure, they must live down the road. Like clockwork every day. And I could tell before they even get to the front of the house which red truck it is,
Okay.
just from the sound of it.
Yeah?
That's not something people should have to do.
No.
That's part of that exhausting behavior. And it wasn't until just, last week we went to an event and I was preparing to speak there. It just sort of hit me. I hadn't even noticed. It just hit me that I haven't heard the red trucks. It was
And it's not like they're not going
flooring
by.
and relieving. And she didn't do anything but be a puppy.
Yeah.
But she hears everything. And I know that she's smart, and I know that we're going to get to so many more things that I need.
Yeah. You've got a whole lifetime ahead of you with her.
Absolutely.
And that's an awesome thing to look forward to.
It is. It's fabulous.
She, there's something that we call got your back. When you have PTSD, you have a very personal space issue, we'll call it. And dogs naturally pick up on that. And the dogs, we're watching them naturally form barriers for the people. They will sit in front of them. They will pick people back up. When you naturally talk to somebody with a dog, you don't get as close in their personal space.
Right.
I have watched dogs actually creep forward to push people back away from the veteran. Jake was alerting you the other night that somebody was in the parking lot before you realized it. And that was the first time since he's been home that he's actually let his guard down and felt comfortable enough that he was like, oh, I didn't know that somebody was there. And that is a really big thing. That is a dog. The dog is having your back and trusting you. And you're trusting the dog's instinct to warn you when things are going on.
Yeah. And that's as it should be, to have the dog, like you say, have your back.
Right, and we're finding that as the veterans get bonded with their dogs and they become more comfortable in their own home and it becomes a safe sanctuary, when they can start going to bed at night instead of sitting on the couch watching out the window, not checking the doors 20, 30 times. And they get actually sleep, and then their outside triggers become more acceptable, easier for them to deal with. It's kind of like, I've heard it explained to me many times, it's like having all these windows open on your desktop, and you can't find the one you're looking, and it's buried underneath everything. Or you don't know why, but you can walk through a store and tell everybody the color of their shoes, the jacket they're wearing. These details that you have to know and have to have control over, but you don't know why. It's useless information that's passing through your brain, and it's just, just drags you down.
Yeah, it's got to be all consuming.
It is time consuming, though.
Yeah.
Rob can tell you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, it's your turn.
I was actually introduced to the program through a group therapy I was going to, and I was given Shelly's information. I gave her a call a little while later, and it was really fast. But then, we went through the whole process, and again, with a lot of questions, the dating website. It's like Jake was like the perfect match. Like we both actually picked him out for me, without even realizing. And it was less than 2 weeks, and I actually had Jake, so it was really fast. And like they were saying, with PTSD, like there's so many different symptoms and everything. It's different with everyone.
Yeah, it's not a textbook thing where everybody
And,
falls into the same category.
Yeah. I recently moved here to Connecticut, and I'm living alone, and I was never comfortable, like in my own, home. So that was definitely a challenge. Not sleeping, just always awake, always alert. It definitely wasn't easy.
I can't imagine.
It's been 3 weeks today, actually, since I've had Jake, and it's definitely quite the opposite from what it was before.
And you could see that you guys seemed like you've been together forever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only 9 months old, but you can tell that there he goes. Little daddy love. He knows we're talking about it.
Jake has recently started waking Rob up from night terrors during the night. Jake is quite a handful, and he recognizes when Rob is getting into that spiral of PTSD and that anxiety. So his favorite thing to do is to pick up the rope toy and bang him in the head or get his attention somehow. He makes a big goofball out of himself. And what that is doing is breaking that cycle of PTSD. He's, and Rob took him to tell him about your group therapy session with him.
Yeah, I took him to my group therapy session because everybody wanted to meet Jake. I mean, we talked about the program in there, and other people were introduced to it as well. And I brought him in there, and we're doing our thing, and Jake's going person to person, just saying hi, going up, getting petted, licking him. There was another veteran there who was speaking and started to get a little worked up, and Jake was actually on the ground chewing out a bone, and he put the bone down, went right over to him, put his head up on his lap and started licking him.
Aww.
And instantly the vet was like, I can't even be upset, because you just can't do it.
How can you be upset around a dog? Right.
Yeah, and then there was even another veteran there at the end of the night. He was like, him being there really just made my day so much better.
So is Jake now a permanent member of your group?
Yeah, he's every time I go there, the guys want me to go.
So it's not even about you. Nobody
Nobody cares about him anymore. It's about the dog.
Yeah. No, but they all love him there, and he's very well behaved, and he looks out for everyone there.
He's an awesome dog, and you can tell he's got like that outgoing personality. He wants to check everybody out.
The cool thing that we do with our program, another aspect that makes it unique, is we use rescue dogs.
And that's awesome.
Yes. We use dogs. Tammy and I have both been in rescue, and we pick the dogs that are least likely to be adopted.
And that is a bless your heart.
Yeah. Jake is black. He looks like a shepherd. He was literally in Arkansas. His foster dad, who happens to be a Vietnam vet, drove to work, and he was sitting in the middle of a dirt road. That night when he came home, he was still there waiting for whoever dumped him. So his foster dad picked him up and brought him home. And when I was looking for a dog for Rob, I spoke to him, and he said to me, he's like, this is a great dog. So actually all three of us picked him out. Tammy and I and Rob all picked him out. And when he came up, it was like, that was it. He was Rob's baby from the get-go. We didn't exist anymore. Nobody.
Yeah.
But that's what we want. We want them to bond with their owners. And he's doing really good. Jake is now eating the couch, so.
Cool. You didn't want that couch anyway.
No, he
No, it
wanted
was-
the couch. It wasn't the fact that he wanted the couch. It was that Daddy was going away, and Daddy was going to leave him alone, and Daddy decided he doesn't need to be in his crate.
Jake, where do you spend now when Daddy's
I
home?
will customize this and make it mine.
Yeah.
But even that, which was an episode
Yeah,
that
it's
would
like a
have
boy,
spiraled Rob out of into anger and things like that, Rob came home and said, yep, he called me, sent me a picture when I came home too.
What was left of the couch? And you can't even get mad, right?
No.
I mean,
He was
You
just
can't be
like,
mad at him.
and then the next text I got was, it's my fault. And I was like,
well, see, you knew that though.
yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that really touches on this program. It's not just about, here's your dog, we'll give you some obedience class, and that's it.
Yeah, have a nice life.
It's, I'm here anytime, all the time.
You can be polite,
4
Mama hen.
a.m., 1 a.m., whatever the problem is. You know, there's times when it's like, really, it's Shelly again. I'm just not answering this. Because she just called me like 16 times yesterday. But it's always, what do you need?
Yeah.
You know, how's it going? What are the issues? Big, small, because she really understands. And I keep saying she, but I'm looking at her. Everybody in this group, you know, and I feel like I'm now part of it. You just sort of become part of it. Once it touches you, you become a part of it. And it's, you know, big, small, because they realize with PTSD, something that may seem very insignificant to the average person in the population, it's not.
Right.
It's not always. And talk about a level of understanding that you don't get anywhere else. And you know, these two ladies are absolutely amazing. The dedication, the commitment. I don't know what they're going to do when they've placed too many dogs with too many veterans, because you can't call us every day when numbers get into the hundreds.
Yeah, I'm going to have to like rotate maybe once every other day.
Yeah. Thursday will be your day. Tuesday will be your day. You'll get the 50 phone calls. You'll get the 25.
It's going to get very impersonal, mass emails.
No, that'll never happen. No, we've already discussed that. We've got a backup plan in.
No, and I mean to the point of anything. There's already an existing dog in the home who, sweet and cute and charming as he is, he's an older dog, and ornery is probably the best word to describe him. And it's sort of taking a whole other level to introduce the young dog, the older dog, training, you know, and it's sort of this storm, not that a storm's always a bad thing, but this perfect storm of new dog, old dog, new place, you know, people, and there's kids, and there's all of these pieces to the puzzle of my life. And it's very, very complicated, and like you said, there's all those windows and layers, and there's so many parts to it. They're there for everything, all of it. Kids, we had, you know, these two in my living room down on the floor with the kids and both the dogs, who a minute ago had been ready to bite each other's throats out. And she's got my 6-year-old feeding the dog that was ready to, you know, bite her. And, you know, and everything was fine. And it's just, they do things that you never thought were possible.
And that's, you know, that just proves your commitment to the whole thing.
Yes.
You can't, and in the broader spectrum, any adoption should have a backup like that.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
people are too hasty to try to go it on their own, not have help, and that's why adoptions fail.
Well, when you have PTSD, your life becomes a routine and a regiment. And the reason for that is because you need to know what's going to happen when. You need to have a routine.
It's safe.
It's safe. The routine is the way that you live your life. You know, if you can make it the next 15 minutes, you can go to the bathroom. If you make it the next half hour, you can go have a cigarette. So when you bring a dog into your house, that shoots that
Yeah,
routine.
there's
That
no-
routine is gone.
Nope.
It doesn't exist anymore.
That's
And
interesting.
but they
I've
learn.
got a house full of animals.
Yes.
So you never know you're going to turn the next corner and what the next mess is going to be.
Yeah, exactly. And they're learning through their dogs that it's okay not to be routine.
Yeah, chaos is
It-
not so bad.
Yeah, and it's controlled, we call it controlled chaos.
Yes.
And, we stress with them that I don't ask them to trust me, I ask them to give the dogs a chance.
Right.
It's not about me, it's not about Tammy, it's
No,
not
it's
about
about the
anything.
dog.
It's about the
Exactly.
dogs. And you guys both chose dogs that had a little bit of issues. They were both abandoned.
Our dogs have PTSD too.
Yeah, so,
No one ever knows what the dogs go through.
well,
Just
yeah.
the same way you can talk about it. You guys can vocalize it, what kind of day you're having or what your issues are. But the dog, not so much. So
No.
you kind of do have to intuitively feel each other out and balance things to make your lives together. And that's a healing thing.
And the good
That's a
thing,
good boy.
the good thing about it is that everybody is involved. Everybody involved in the group. Tammy has PTSD herself. My dad had PTSD growing up, and that to me is my norm. Sugar.
Okay, someone's phone's ringing. It's all good. It'll stop.
My normal is PTSD. I don't know how to live life, though I don't have it myself. I don't know how to live life with it. And one of the biggest things with someone who has PTSD is a masquerade.
Oh, we're the best actors
Yes.
in the world.
I can ask these guys. These guys now know that it's not going to cut it with me. But if prior, I would call and be like, "How you doing today?" "Fine, everything's fine."
She's like,
Yeah.
liar.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Liar."
Liar.
All right, tell me the truth.
She's good at it too.
Yeah.
She can
she's
pick
very
up
good
on
at
it.
it. Yes, she is.
But that's part of that support.
Yes, Rob calls me Mama Hen, and that's okay, because I'll check in and I'll catch him every now and then. Still, he'll be like, "I'm doing fine." Never mind, I had a bad day.
Yeah.
And he can't lie. He's got many tells with his lies. So now but it's learning about being safe in yourself again.
So let's just revisit the Hounds Healing Heroes. If someone
Right.
reaches
Walk.
out to you,
Correct.
they can
Good job. Hi.
be interviewed.
Good
Right,
job.
correct.
Nice.
You will search
Good
out a
night.
dog.
Correct.
Very nice.
You will go through the process of introducing them
Uh-huh.
and putting them with an animal.
Correct.
They have to attend obedience classes.
Correct. At least 6 out of 8 basic obedience classes.
And that's just to make everything like a fresh start. Everybody's on the same page. And if someone wanted to reach you, if someone was interested, how would they get in touch with you?
We do have a website, and we're also on Facebook.
Okay, what is your website?
www.houndshealingheroes.com.
One more time, in case anybody's scrambling for a pen.
www.houndshealingheroes.com.
Okay, and there's a contact portion of
Yep,
the
you
There
website.
is yes,
Yep.
there is. And
Or-
we have a blog.
We have a blog, and you can go to Hounds Healing Heroes on Facebook as well,
Right?
and you can message us there.
Okay.
Or if you want, you can call me personally. I'm always there.
And your number is?
203-240-5737.
One more time.
203-240-5737.
Okay, and if anybody didn't catch this, all of this will be replayed on YouTube, but you can also go to the Posse Presents Facebook page, and I put your link up to your page
Okay,
so
thank
they
you.
can track you down that way.
And it's just not for veterans either. I wanted to mention that if a civilian does have PTSD, we will set them up with a dog. I also wanted to let you know that 90% of this is done at no cost to the veteran. We raise donations for the adoption fee and the vetting for the dogs. And if a veteran can't pay an adoption fee, they're getting the dog no matter what we have to do. That does not stop that from happening.
And you also said something to me that I thought was wonderful, again, to the end where you really have everybody's back. If need be, if there's a hospital visit, you have a
Yes.
backup plan where the dog will have a place to go.
90% of veterans that need inpatient mental health care or any care, surgery,
go.
anything, won't go because they don't want to leave their dog. Tammy and I have set up a foster network that if the veteran needs inpatient care, the dog comes into our foster care or into a foster home and remains there until the veteran is back on their feet and well enough to take the possession of the dog again.
And that can be very important.
A lot of times it's the
It
only.
relieves a lot of stress on the guys, wondering
Yeah.
what's going to happen to the dog. And we're not one of these groups that say, all right, you're going back in the hospital, you have these issues going on, we're taking your dog away from you.
No.
That doesn't work. It's just
No.
not right. So my house is always open to any dog that I've ever fostered. At any time, midnight, you call me and tell me I have to do something. I need a place for my dog, and I'm on my way to get the dog.
That's really that's the way any organization should
And
run.
we are also in the process now of setting up a food bank.
Yep.
Because some veterans are on disability and money is tight. We don't ever want it to come to a point where they either
Make it-
personally go hungry or their dogs go hungry.
No.
So we
Or
have
there's a thought in the head of having to give up the
having to
dog
Right.
because
having
they
to
can't
choose one of
support it.
those.
Right.
That does not work for us, and so we are getting donations from local pet food places to have on hand for anybody who ever needs it.
That's just amazing. That's wonderful. So glad that you guys came on tonight.
Thank you.
How much
Thank
longer
you.
do we have?
We have a couple minutes.
Exactly a minute and a half.
Okay. Would either Rob or Tara like to add anything?
I'm just throwing there like program, like it's not just getting a dog, like
It's a lifestyle change.
it is. Like I moved here, didn't really know anyone, Jake.
Now, he's saying, I got you
Yeah.
back, Daddy.
It's like, I got you,
That's what he
Dad.
does.
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Thank you. Good boy.
Shelly and I have become the evil stepsisters. Yeah, you're not going to get away from checking in.
We have formed I think all of us can agree, we've all formed a very dysfunctional family, but it works.
Yeah, but
It-
show
it
me
really
a family and I'll
does.
show you dysfunctional.
We own it.
We absolutely own it.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's a little bit of magic in it. There absolutely is. I was at an appointment at the VA, and Rob, who doesn't know anybody in the state, I walk out and he's standing there. You're in the middle of the state. I'm in the northwest corner of the state. We're down in West Haven, and there he is, and just found out he's having surgery, and it's like he's suddenly getting henpecked by all of us. Well, what do you need? We're going to bring you food.
He has yet.
We're going to check on you.
He still has that youth thing going, so he hasn't learned yet that when we speak, he should just give in. It's easier.
Alrighty. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
We're going
you.
to probably roll our credits, and we're going to say goodnight. We're going to say peace, love, and dogs. Till next week, everybody. Thanks for watching.